German engine. It's built in a factory in Austria, and it's got a Japanese badge. Confusing enough, I don't care, because this is the 2021 Toyota Supra and it looks fantastic. Yeah, I just like how aggressive the front end of the car looks. You got this really long swooping bonnet, and the stretch headlight looks fantastic. You got this daytime running light down here, which is also an indicator light, and then you got the triple beam LED headlights. I like the scoop and the air intake down here, the stock standard factory fitted front lip spoiler. Yeah, the only thing I don't like about the front of the car is there's too many fake vents. There's one here, and there's another one on this side, and there's some just plastic cowling down here as well. So yeah, not all the vents are real, but overall it still looks fantastic. So down the side we have this 19-inch wheels wrapped in Michelin Pilot Super Sport tires. They're really high performance tires, super grippy, awesome in the wet as well. Then we have this brake, large brake disc with 2-port brake calipers, and just down the side we have this swooping roof line, and I really like this blacked out A-pillar down here, and also the side mirrors. Got some really cool lines down the side as well. Again, the only thing I don't like about the Supra is there's too many fake vents. There's one here, and there's again another fake vents here as well. And then there's down here there's the stock standard side skirt. Looks really nice. It looks really well integrated with the car. And at the back we have also 19-inch wheels with Pilot Super Sport, and really wide tires in the back. There's 275 wide tires, and yeah, it looks side profile looks really good. It's very compact, and it's low. It looks hunkered down to the ground. Yeah, it looks fantastic. So the back looks just as aggressive as the front. We've got this rear haunch down here, really aggressive rear haunch, and it looks smooth. It flows all the way back here, which is really great. Integrates really well with the whole rear design. And there's the boot lid spoiler here. Again, it flows. The design just flows down here for a bit of downforce in the back. It looks really well integrated with the boot lid as well. Then down here we have some really aggressive rear diffuser with 2 round exhaust tips. There's the factory built-in standard skirt down the back at the bottom here, and there's the tail lights. I figured Toyota could have done a bit better with the detailing of the tail lights. I don't know, I think it just lacks a bit of detailing inside, but overall the back of the car looks fantastic.
Supra styling gives away none of its Z4 connection, and is entirely fresh, entirely Toyota. In the matte grey paintwork of my test car, the Supra never failed to turn heads everywhere it went during my week-long test. This is one seriously hot-looking sports car.
Now it's a very different story on the inside though, because everything in here feels like a BMW. The knobs, the buttons, the gear lever, and the door handles look as if they've all been taken straight out of the BMW. The center touchscreen and the digital instrumentation cluster do have slightly different graphics compared to a BMW, but they are also based on a BMW system. Look, don't get me wrong, the BMW controls and systems are fantastic, but would have hoped that Toyota would give it a bit more differentiation to differentiate between the Supra and the Z4 on which this car is based.
Ignoring those, the driving position is great. You sit low and tight, and the sports seats wrap around your back like they should in a sports car. Forward visibility is good, but over the shoulder and rear view is horrible. You'll need to rely heavily on the sensors and camera to reverse in tight spaces. Unlike its predecessor, the new GR Supra is a strict two-seater, and there isn't much room behind the seats for storage.
Now, new for 2021 is this updated 3-liter inline 6-cylinder engine from BMW. It now produces 285 kilowatts of power and 500 Newton meters of torque. So that's 35 kilowatts more power than the previous engine. Well, let's go for a drive. In terms of ride quality, I think this is one of the most comfortable sports car you can buy today. The ride is it's not much firmer than a normal hatchback. I mean it's firm, but it's still very comfortable across most surfaces. And that layer of firmness just gives you that road feel, the feedback you get from the road, and that's appropriate for a sports car. But overall, it's really comfortable. You can drive this every day of the week. The seats are really comfortable as well. It's very snug, great support. But people with drivers with a bigger body build might find the shoulder support here a little bit too tight. But for me, it's just perfect. It fits perfectly to my body.
Right in 400 meters. meters towards Cardinia Reservoir Park.
It's got good support on the seat back as well, so yeah, I feel really comfortable in this seat. Now I must admit there's quite a bit of rattling going around in this cabin. There's one down here, and there's quite a bad rattling in the back as well. You might be able to hear it in this video. Yeah, the Supra's build quality is not the best we've seen, but the panel alignment and all that are great. The gaps are small, the alignments are perfect, but yeah, you might find a little bit of rattling here and there in the cabin. Sport mode and see what's it all about. Alright, so in sport mode the steering wheel firms up a little bit, and yeah, so the throttle response is sharpened as well. So as soon as you put your foot down, it goes. Pretty good. And in sport mode, the gear shifts are a little bit quicker than in normal mode, so it just gives you a bit more engagement with the car as you are having a spirited drive. So the gearbox is very responsive. Put my foot down back there and it just drops 2 gears. It gives you that power. So yeah, the response is instantaneous. Now we are turning into some really nice stretch of challenging roads ahead. So let's really push. Let's try and push this Supra and see what it has to offer. Oh, wow, that's quick. Sounds really good from the 3-liter turbo inline 6. Oh, it's rear-wheel drive, but it does have a ton of grip. So much torque from the mid-range, from about 2000 RPM. Put your foot down and it's just waves and waves of torque. Yeah, that was quick. Stays in the line pretty good, and it's nice and flat around the corners, sweeping bends at 90 k's an hour, no worries. Still hairpin. little bit back there. It's rear-wheel drive, lets you have just that little bit of fun before the traction control kicks in, which is how it's supposed to be for a rear drive sports car. There's another hairpin here. Oh yeah, it stays really flat around the corner. Just put the transmission into manual mode, and I'm just using the steering wheel paddles to shift. Really powerful brakes. And when you downshift, it blips the throttle. Crackles in the back as well. Okay, this is the front turn. It turns in nicely. Yep, it's very sharp. The nose just is so locked down. It doesn't just push wide or anything. It's not like some of the all-wheel drive sports car that I've driven, where the front under limit just washes wide. This one doesn't. It just sticks to the ground and goes in the direction that you want it to. There's another hairpin here. Down second gear, lift the throttle. Yep, nice and clean. Back on the power. Whoa, that was quick. That was really fun. Now the sweeping band. On the brakes, second gear. Yeah, some power. Yeah, that mid-range torque's just savage. Just pulls the car from 30 kilometers per hour up to 120 in what, 3 seconds. The steering wheel is precise. It's yeah, points where you want it to go, but it's a electric steering, so the feedback might be a bit lacking, but it's I would say it does lack a little bit of feedback on the steering wheel. Yes. Oh. Wow, man, this thing flies. This thing just flies around the corner. Because it's so light as well. It weighs like around 1.3 tons. And it's got so much power from the 3-liter turbo engine. Now this is a proper lightweight rear-wheel drive sports car. strange in a way because it is a Toyota, but it doesn't feel like a Toyota. It still drives very much like a BMW. Now obviously this is based on the same drivetrain as the BMW Z4 M40i. It's got the same engine and same gearbox, rear-wheel drive, but it's got its own Toyota Supra tuning to give you that bespoke Supra flavor. But I must say they haven't quite got it there because it still feels very much like a BMW. It sounds like a BMW, it drives like a BMW. Yeah, it just doesn't have that kind of raw, geeky, Japanese feel to the car. But you know what? If you take the Supra on face value and just drive and enjoy the car as is, it's a fantastic car. It's got so much potential. The performance level is so high. And you can enjoy this car on just about any types of road.
The new Toyota GR Supra may not feel like a true Supra, but it's certainly not short on pace and performance. In fact, with the updated engine, it packs tremendous punch. If you're willing to take the Supra on face value and enjoy it, you'll be in for a heap of fun every time you get behind the wheel.